Tonight's compilation, 4 stories. Real situations, real people, submitted anonymously to Reddit. Some will make you cringe, some will make you angry, and one might just make you feel a little less alone.
I'm sitting here, staring at the text message from my boyfriend, feeling utterly shocked, my mind racing with the numbers, the sheer audacity of his proposal. He wants to pay $600 a month, and not a penny more, no utilities, no nothing, and I'm supposed to be okay with that. I make $31 an hour, he makes $45, and yet, he's telling me he can't afford to pay his fair share of the rent. My rent, might I add, is a whopping $2,000 a month. How is this fair? I think back to all the times we've discussed our finances, all the times I've tried to make sense of his reasoning, and I'm left with more questions than answers. What is he thinking? Does he not understand the concept of fairness? Of partnership? I'm not asking for the moon here, just a bit of equality. Is that too much to ask? And do you know what he said next? That he can't afford $800, the same amount he's currently paying to rent a room. It's like he thinks I'm blind to the fact that he's trying to take advantage of me. I'm furious, my blood is boiling just thinking about it. How can someone who claims to love me, to want to build a life with me, be so cavalier about our finances? Doesn't he understand that this is a partnership, not a charity? I'm not his personal ATM, and I won't be treated like one. I've already noticed that when he charges his electric car all day, my electricity bill doubles, and he doesn't want to pay a dime towards it. It's like he's trying to take advantage of me, to use me for his own convenience. As I sit here, trying to make sense of it all, I realize that I've been feeling unsure, uncertain about our future together. I've been trying to brush it off, to tell myself that it's just a minor issue, but the more I think about it, the more I realize that it's a symptom of a much larger problem. He's not willing to compromise, to work with me to find a solution that works for both of us, and that's a major red flag. I think about all the comments from the Reddit community, all the people who've been in my shoes, who've dealt with similar situations, and I'm grateful for their advice, their support. They've given me the courage to stand up for myself, to demand what I deserve, a partnership, not a dictatorship. I'm devastated that it's come to this, that I've had to realize that the person I thought I loved, the person I thought loved me, is not willing to meet me halfway. But as I sit here, reflecting on it all, I realize that I've made my decision. I'm done. I deserve better. I deserve a partner who is willing to work with me, to compromise, to find a solution that works for both of us. I'm not going to settle for anything less. I'm worth more than that. And as I close this chapter of my life, I'm left with a sense of closure, of resolution. I know that I've made the right decision, and that I'll come out of this stronger, wiser, and more confident.
Okay. Story number 2. And while you're listening, drop a comment. Who was right in that last one? I genuinely want to know what you think.
I'm still trying to process the mix of emotions I felt when I saw his text. You're going to hate me. My heart sank, and I felt a wave of anxiety wash over me. What could he have done? And do you know what he said next? He told me he had promised his friend, a commercial pilot, that he would be on their first flight, which just so happened to be scheduled for the exact date and time of my surgery. I was furious, to say the least. I had been counting on him to be there for me, to take me to the medical center, wait for me, and bring me home. It was a big deal for me, and I had made it clear to him how much I needed his support. And now, he was considering bailing on me for a friend's party? I felt devastated, like he had let me down in the worst possible way. I didn't know how to respond. I was in a panic, trying to think of other options, but it was hard to focus when all I could think about was how he was putting our relationship, and my health, on the back burner. I told him I could look around for other options, but inside, I was shocked. How could he do this to me? Didn't he care about my well-being? Didn't he care about us? The hours that followed were agonizing. I was waiting to hear back from him, and all I got were vague responses, maybe, maybe not, and then, out of nowhere, his Wordle results. It was like he was trying to distract me from the fact that he was considering abandoning me when I needed him most. 4.5 hours later, I finally heard back from him. He had decided not to go on the flights. It was too expensive. I was relieved, but also still reeling from the fact that he had even considered it in the first place. I'm glad he's got friends he's close to, but I'm also worried that he'll drop the ball again in the future. What if I have another medical situation, or need his help in some other way? Will he be there for me, or will he flake out again? As I reflect on what happened, I'm trying to see it as a minor bump in the road. We haven't been dating long, and I know he's been great to me aside from this one incident. But it's hard to shake off the feeling that this is a sign of things to come. Is it a bump that can be overcome, or is it a sign of a deeper issue? I'm still trying to figure that out, but for now, I'm just grateful that he's going to be there for me on the day of my surgery. And I'm hoping that this experience will bring us closer together, rather than driving us apart. I'm choosing to focus on the positive, and to believe that our relationship is strong enough to withstand this test. And I'm hoping that, in the end, it will make us stronger and more resilient.
Before we continue, if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. These stories drop regularly and they only get better. Okay. Let's go.
I'm sitting here, reflecting on the past, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that I paid a sex worker to pose as my partner at swinging meetups. And it's a memory that still haunts me to this day. I was young, stupid, and desperate for a thrill, and I convinced myself that it was all just a harmless game. But the truth is, I was furious with myself for being so alone, and I didn't know how to fill the void. So, I found this bombshell Latina sex worker, who agreed to be my partner in crime. We would create this fake story, with fake names and backgrounds, and I would pay her to distract the guys while you know. And do you know what she said next? She told me she was doing it to save up for a down payment on a house. I was shocked, but at the same time, I was relieved that I had found someone who was willing to play along. We seemed like the perfect couple, holding hands and kissing on the cheek, and I have to admit, it was convincing. But the reality was, she was seeing several clients a week, and I was just another one of them. And I was paying her to lie to all these couples, to pretend to be something we are not. It's a feeling that's hard to describe, but it's like I was living in a constant state of guilt, always looking over my shoulder, waiting for someone to discover my secret. I think about all the couples we met, all the lies we told, and I feel devastated. We were like a cancer, infecting their lives with our deceit. And for what? So I could get my rocks off. It's a sad, pathetic truth, but it's one that I have to live with. But as I look back, I realize that I was just as lost as the couples we were meeting. We were all searching for something, anything, to fill the void. And in the end, it was all just a facade. The sex, the lies, the fake stories, it was all just a distraction from the fact that I was empty inside. But I've learned from my mistakes, and I've grown as a person. I've learned that honesty and respect are essential in any relationship, and that manipulating people for my own gain is not the answer. I've also learned that it's okay to be alone, and that true connection and intimacy can't be bought or sold. As I sit here, reflecting on my past, I've come to realize that I'm not that same person anymore. I've grown, I've learned, and I've moved on. And I hope that by sharing my story, I can help others avoid making the same mistakes I did. So, to anyone who's listening, let this be a lesson: honesty is always the best policy, and true connection is worth more than any amount of money or pleasure.
Moving on to story number 4. And hey, if you're enjoying the compilation so far, a like goes a long way. It helps other people find these stories too. Alright.
I'm standing in my bathroom, staring at the old clawfoot tub, feeling utterly furious, as my husband is lecturing me about how we need to upgrade it. I mean, what's wrong with it? It's beautiful, it's functional, and it's a part of the house's history. But no, my husband, the contractor, thinks it's outdated and needs to be replaced with something new and more functional. I've spent years pouring my heart and soul into this house, making it my own, and I'm not about to let him come in and change everything. I think about all the times I've spent fixing things myself, learning to tile, installing that sink from Mexico. It's been a labor of love. And do you know what she said next? My husband's exact words were, "We need to get rid of this old stuff, it's not efficient." Efficient? Is that all that matters to him? I feel devastated, like he's not even listening to me, like he's not even trying to understand why this house is so important to me. I think about all the memories I've made here, all the struggles I've overcome, and I feel like he's just dismissing it all. I look around the bathroom, at the old brass faucets, the wooden toilet tank. It's all so beautiful, so unique. And he wants to replace it with something sleek and modern. No, thank you. I take a deep breath, trying to calm down, but I can feel my anger simmering just below the surface. I think about our daughters, who share this bathroom, and how they've never had any problems with the shower curtain. And then I think about my husband, and how he's always harping on me about this. And I just blow up. I yell at him about first world problems, about how grossed out I am that we're even having this conversation. I mean, what's wrong with us as parents if our daughters can't even figure out how to use a shower curtain? And then, just as suddenly as it started, the argument is over. My husband storms out of the bathroom, leaving me standing there, feeling shocked and unsure of what just happened. I look around the bathroom again, and I realize that this isn't just about the house, or the fixtures, it's about me, and my sense of self-worth. I've worked so hard to make this house my own, to make it a reflection of myself. And I'm not going to let anyone, not even my husband, take that away from me. I take a deep breath, feeling a sense of calm wash over me. I realize that I don't have to choose between my husband and my house. I can find a way to compromise, to make him happy while still keeping the things that are important to me. And as I stand there, looking at the old clawfoot tub, I feel a sense of peace. I know that I've made the right decision, for myself and for my family. I've learned to stand up for what I believe in, and to fight for what's important to me. And that, in itself, is a major accomplishment. As I look back on that argument, I realize that it was a turning point for me. It made me realize that I don't have to be afraid to speak up, to express my own opinions and desires. And it made me appreciate my husband, and his willingness to listen to me, to understand where I'm coming from. We've had our disagreements, but in the end, we've always found a way to work through them, together. And that's what makes our relationship so strong, so resilient. I smile to myself, feeling grateful for this house, and for the life I've built here. It's not perfect, but it's mine, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. And as I walk out of the bathroom, I feel a sense of closure, of resolution. I know that I've made the right decision, and that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be.
And that's all for tonight. If any of these stories resonated with you, you know what to do. Sleep well.